This sign means A. Stop. B. Merge. C. Upcoming change in direction. A. Stop. An 8-sided red sign means stop. When parking next to a curb, you should use your turn signals. A. Only when pulling away from the curb. B. When pulling next to, but not away from, the curb. C. When pulling next to or away from the curb. C. When pulling next to or away from the curb. Drivers should signal when pulling next to a curb or away from a curb. Prior to entering a curve. A. Activate your turn signal. B. Reduce your speed. C. Brake hard. B. Reduce your speed. You may drive more slowly than the posted speed limit, based on road conditions, but it is illegal to drive any faster than the posted speed limit. Some conditions which require reduced speed for safety include approaching curves or hills where visibility is limited, driving on slippery roads, and driving on roads where animals and pedestrians are present. This sign means A. You can travel in either direction in this lane. B. There is two-way traffic. C. You are approaching a divided highway. B. There is two-way traffic. This sign warns of two-way traffic.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
The proper way to make a right turn is to A. Signal, slow down, and get into the lane closest to the centerline before turning. B. Signal, slow down, and get into the lane closest to the right curb before turning. C. Approach the corner in the lane nearest the right curb, but move over toward the middle of the street before turning. B. Signal, slow down, and get into the lane closest to the right curb before turning. Before beginning a right turn, use the appropriate signal to give surrounding drivers adequate notice of your intentions. Slow down and approach the intersection from the right lane, staying as close as is practical to the right curb or edge of the roadway. What does this road sign mean? A. Be ready to merge with traffic entering your lane. B. Always stop. C. Divided highway ahead. A. Be ready to merge with traffic entering your lane. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns that merging traffic will be entering from the right, so drivers should prepare to allow the incoming traffic to safely merge. This road sign means A. Cars in the right lane must slow down. B. No left turn. C. Merge. C. Merge. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign indicates that there could be traffic merging from the right, so drivers should prepare to allow traffic to safely merge. Delaware law does not say who has the right of way. It says A. Who must yield the right of way. B. Nothing about the right of way. C. Right of way does not exist. A. Who must yield the right of way. The motor vehicle laws of Delaware do not give anyone the right of way. The law describes who is to yield the right of way. Tailgating other drivers, driving too closely to their rear bumper. A. Can frustrate other drivers and make them angry. B. Cannot result in a traffic citation. C. Reduces collisions by preventing being cut off. A. Can frustrate other drivers and make them angry. Tailgating is a common behavior that can lead to aggressive driving, and so it should be avoided. Drivers may face legal consequences for driving unsafely. This road sign means A. Pedestrian crossing. B. School crossing. C. Jogging trail. A. Pedestrian crossing. Warning signs provide notice to road users of a situation that might not be readily apparent and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign tells drivers to be alert to crossing pedestrians. If you can see that the roadway up ahead is covered by heavy smoke, you should A. Turn on your four-way flashers and continue. B. Reduce your speed, move as far to the right as possible, and stop off the roadway. C. Turn on your high-beam headlights and continue. B. Reduce your speed, move as far to the right as possible, and stop off the roadway. If you notice that the road ahead is covered by heavy smoke, reduce your speed immediately, drive as far as possible to the right, and stop off the roadway. Only then should you determine if it is safe for you to continue. Remember that certain kinds of smoke can irritate your eyes and lungs or even kill you. As you enter into a roundabout, you should slow down and A. Yield to any crossing pedestrians and bicyclists. B. Yield to any car already within the roundabout. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. When entering a roundabout, you must yield to pedestrians, bicyclists, and traffic already in the roundabout. Which of the following substances can affect the ability to drive? A. Tranquilizers, marijuana, and sedatives. B. Cough syrups and cold tablets containing codeine or antihistamines. C. All of the above. C. All of the above. A number of drugs can impair your ability to drive, including depressant medications like tranquilizers and sedatives, over-the-counter cough syrups, cold tablets, and allergy medications, which may contain impairing substances like alcohol, codeine, or antihistamines, and illegal drugs. Which of these statements is true about drugs and driving? A. Any prescription drug is safe to use if you don't feel drowsy. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. C. Only illegal drugs can impair your driving. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. Legal prescription and over-the-counter drugs can impair your ability to drive, including drugs taken for colds, hay fever, allergies, or to calm nerves or muscles. It is illegal to drive while under the influence of any drug that impairs your ability to drive safely. This law does not differentiate between illegal, prescription, or over-the-counter drugs. Which of the following is most likely to be slippery in cold weather after snow or rain? A. A hilly, open road. B. A residential road. C. A road in a shaded area. C. A road in a shaded area. On cold, wet days, shaded spots on a roadway can become icy. Shaded areas often freeze before, and thaw out after, the rest of a road. You must yield to a pedestrian using a white cane or guide dog. A. Only when the guide dog is leading the person across the street. B. At all times. C. Only if a crossing guard is present. B. At all times. Pedestrians who use guide dogs or white canes, with or without a red tip, must be given the right of way at all times. Which of the following statements about driving speed is true? A. As your speed increases, the chance of a fatality increases. B. As your speed increases, so should your following distance. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. As driving speeds increase, the chance of a fatality in the case of a collision increases. If you are going faster than 80 miles per hour, you have almost no chance of living through a crash. The speed you drive affects your stopping distance, so you should increase your following distance as you increase your speed. This sign indicates a. Railroad crossing. B. Pedestrian crossing. C. No passing zone. A. Railroad crossing. Yellow signs with black markings are used to warn drivers about upcoming hazards or special conditions. Round signs are used only to warn about upcoming railroad crossings. If the rear of your vehicle is skidding to the left, you should A. Not turn your steering wheel. B. Turn your steering wheel to the left to correct the skid. C. Turn your steering wheel to the right to correct the skid. B. Turn your steering wheel to the left to correct the skid. If you begin to skid on a wet or icy road, take your foot off the accelerator, stay off the brakes, and turn your steering wheel in the direction of the skid. However, if you have anti-lock brakes, you should apply your brakes firmly and steer straight ahead. When parking your vehicle on any hill, A. One of your rear wheels should touch the curb. B. Use your parking brake and leave the vehicle in park. C. Your front wheels should be parallel to the road, if there is no curb. B. Use your parking brake and leave the vehicle in park. When parking on a hill, you should always leave your vehicle in gear or in the park position. If there is no curb, you should turn your front wheels so that the vehicle will roll away from the center of the road if the brakes fail. If there is a curb, the front wheels should be turned toward it, if headed downhill, or away from and gently touching it if headed uphill. This sign means A. No right turn. B. Stop sign ahead. C. Divided highway. A. No right turn. This sign indicates that turns in the direction of the arrow, in this case, to the right, are prohibited. You are approaching an intersection where a traffic signal is displaying a steady yellow light. If you have not already entered the intersection, you should A. Speed up to beat the red light. B. Reduce your speed and proceed carefully through the intersection. C. Come to a safe stop. C. Come to a safe stop. At an intersection controlled by a steady yellow light, you should bring your vehicle to a safe stop. If you are already within the intersection when the light changes from green to yellow, continue through the intersection at a safe speed. You should yield to a pedestrian. A. Only if they are in a crosswalk. B. At all times, even if the pedestrian is not obeying traffic laws. C. Only if the traffic lights are in the pedestrian's favor. B. at all times, even if the pedestrian is not obeying traffic laws. Always be aware of pedestrians near your vehicle. You must do everything you can to prevent striking a pedestrian, regardless of the circumstances. Various traffic control devices in construction and maintenance work areas are the color A. Red, B. Orange, C. Yellow, B. Orange. Orange warning signs are used in and around work zones. Use special caution when you see orange signs, cones, or barriers on a roadway. What message will be found on this yellow pennant-shaped sign? A. Right turns only. B. Right turns permitted. C. No passing zone. C. No passing zone. Pennant-shaped yellow signs like this are used to indicate a no passing zone. This sign means A. Divided highway. B. Railroad warning. C. No passing zone. A. Divided highway. This sign indicates that a divided highway begins ahead. Where is it safe to pass another vehicle? A. Within an intersection where there are no oncoming vehicles. B. Wherever signs and/or pavement markings permit passing. C. Within a curve where there are no oncoming vehicles. B. Wherever signs and/or pavement markings permit passing. Never pass within intersections or at other intersecting points, such as parking lot entrances and alleyways. Anytime your view is blocked by a curve or a hill, you should stay in your lane and assume that there is an oncoming vehicle just out of sight. Wherever signs and/or pavement markings permit passing other vehicles, you will have to determine whether or not you have enough space to pass in a safe manner. Drivers turning left must yield to A. Overtaking cars. B. Oncoming cars. C. No one. B. Oncoming cars. Drivers turning left must yield to oncoming vehicles that are driving straight ahead. A turning driver may only proceed when they can safely turn without affecting oncoming traffic. If you come to an intersection controlled by a flashing yellow light, you must A. Wait for the green light before proceeding. B. Slow down and cross the intersection carefully. C. Stop before crossing the intersection. B. Slow down and cross the intersection carefully. A flashing yellow traffic light means drivers must slow down, be more aware, and proceed with caution. Be alert to crossing traffic and pedestrians. This sign means A. Road construction maintenance area. B. Side road. C. Railroad ahead. A. Road construction maintenance area. Diamond-shaped signs are used to warn of actual or possible hazards. The color orange is used for warning signs usually found in construction or maintenance areas.